I'm getting ready to leave for the day, and I found a turtle right by the house, a big ass turtle. And he seems to be digging a hole, like in our shale next to our house. Well, what he's doing, I think he might be trying to lay eggs, or she. I don't know how that works with turtles. But yeah. So this guy was digging in our shale pile. He is an old turtle, wrinkly old turtle. Well, don't lay eggs right there, man, because we're going to excavate in a few weeks, okay? Just just go somewhere else, all right? And I'm not touching you. You should go somewhere else, please. Hey, fella. How you doing? I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just looking at you. Man, you are an old dude, aren't you? Look at you. What kind of turtle are you? And where have you been? Holy moly. Hi there. Welcome to Logs, Bogs, and Meadows. I'm Kevin here, and today is day 94. It's June 7th, 2025, and today is kind of a pivotal day. It's a day that we're going to turn a corner. And this has happened before in this project. You kind of go through a phase of building your own home, and you get to a point where things turn to different trades in a different phase of the project, and that's certainly happening as we speak right now. If you're new to this channel, welcome. What we're doing here is we're sharing with you what it's like to be an owner builder. And when I say owner builder, I don't mean someone who's doing the work physically. I mean somebody who is the general contractor, the builder that has all of the trade contractors working for them. And we've been at this for a little over 3 months, and we've made some significant progress. I feel really good about where we're at. If you're with me and you've watched a lot of this, you might realize that I'm standing on the back porch, and that's a big deal because this is probably, in my opinion, the biggest, well, one of the biggest, at least, features of this property. And yeah, it's almost done. It's substantially done, and I want to share that with you. I think it looks incredible. But I'll just hang on and please watch the whole video because there's a lot here today, and I want to go over all of it with you, and I want to share it all. I'm learning, and I hope you're learning too. Again, welcome to Logs, Bogs, and Meadows. Okay, we have most of the framing done for the back porch. And it's probably hard to see the total scale here, but this beam right here is a massive Douglas fir beam. It is a 6-inch wide by 12-inch high. Those aren't actual dimensions, those are lumber dimensions, but it's a 6 by 12 Douglas fir beam that's 24 foot long, and it's a monster. And up in the top there, you know, as you can look up here, this vertical piece here is the top support for the ridge beam. And the ridge beam is this beam here that carries back to the house where all the rafters are attached to. And then we have 6 by 6 columns across the front. Okay, this is your first look at the back porch. And Sherry and I love it. We absolutely love it. It's not completely done yet because the ceiling needs to be put in, and then the fascia and soffit on the end needs to be done. But you're starting to see how that structure is just going to really add to the outdoor living component of our home. So kind of go over some of the building material choices we're using here. First of all of the posts and the beams are solid Douglas fir. And we went through so many iterations of what we were going to use here. And the architectural drawings called for, you know, basically treated lumber wrapped in plastic. We both hated that. That just didn't personify what we're trying to do with bringing the outdoors indoors. Then we looked at taking that same pressure treated lumber and wrapping it with Douglas fir 1x dimensional boards. That would have been an upgrade, but it still wouldn't have been solid, and you would have seen all of the little cracks of how we wrapped those things. So in the end, we spent some money. The roofing rafters are regular dimensional lumber, pine, spruce, whatever they are, probably yellow pine, and they're just normal 2x8s, and they will be hidden because we will be putting the same material we use on the front porch, the bronze roofing material, up in there to hide all of those rafters. So we are just so happy with how this looks right now. Very, very pleased and feeling very blessed. Okay, this is the front of the house. This is where we stand right now. And of course, as soon as I hit the record button, all the dogs bark, including my own. But anyhow, the siding is done on the front. The porch is done on the front. And you're probably thinking, Kevin, that's not done. There's a part there that doesn't have siding on. And of course, there is a part that doesn't have siding on. And that part is going to have the natural Tuscarora stone. So some of the features outside here, or one of the key features outside here, is the front porch. And it's not big. It's actually rather small. But we have something cool going on because we have Douglas fir beams up in the top here, and we got a 6x6 post. But then when we get up in, and you won't be able to see it all, these beams up here on the side and along the front are solid Douglas fir. They're the 6x12 beams, and also in the ceiling we used metal roofing material. Now, we chose a different color than our roof. It's essentially the same roofing material, but this is a bronze color, and it has a texture to it which is similar to the siding. Not sure that that's used all that often for ceilings, but it kind of fits with what we're doing. So yeah, that's it. And this is our, I don't know that I've ever shown this. This is our front yard. And of course, there's a lot of work to do here. Up at the top of the front yard there is the sand mound for the septic system. Okay, stepping back to get a broader view of the back, and all the siding's on now, and it looks absolutely fantastic to us. It's really hard to see how this is going to look standing in the backyard. I'm standing right now about 25 feet back from the porch. I have my camera elevated about 3 feet above my head on a pole. But I'm basically, my head is about probably at least 2 feet below the top of that concrete slab on the porch. That's how much it drops off. We're going to bring this grade up so that you can step off of that porch with one step onto the final grade. So there's just a lot of excavation that still has to happen. Not excavation, fill. A lot of material has to be brought in here. But also wanted to talk about and mention, you know, what's happening underneath the porch. We're going to put that Tuscarora natural cut stone in around between those sliding doors and that picture window, and then up into that gable where it attaches to the house. And then on the concrete floor itself, we're going to be putting porcelain pavers, and they look like slate. It looks like a natural stone product. It's made out of clay, very strong material. That'll go over top of this concrete slab and go right back to the house. And actually, it'll inside the house, we're going to have it running across the inside of the house too, so that the effect will be whatever's outside is coming in. And that's, again, one of the themes that we're trying to keep as we build our home in the forest. Even though I just said, as an owner builder, you don't do the work, today I got to do a little work. And it's minimal, but for an old guy, it's substantial. And most of it has to do with cleanup, because we're rounding the corner and we're about to start drywall. But some of it is also due to my electrician being on vacation. And there's a wire that needs to be moved, and it's not energized, so there's no issues there. But once the drywall goes in, the electrician would lose the opportunity to move that wire where it needs to be. And he's on vacation, and he is basically an owner operator. He's a one-man show. So I can either leave it there and we have to tear out drywall later, or I can try to circumvent and I can make a call and see if I can snake it through. I'll share that with you. Alrighty, we are going to do an explanation of the relocation of the wire. So we're on the back porch right now, and up at the top, you're seeing the ridge beam. It's a Douglas fir beam, and it's a big one. And it goes back to the house there and goes into the house. And the issue that we have is we have to get an electrical wire up above that beam there so that we can get the power to a fan and light kit. And the electrician wasn't sure where all of this roof structure was going to be. And so what he did was he made a penetration hole right here for the wire, and he stuck the wire out. And again, he's on vacation right now. We can't call him back, but obviously that hole there is way too low. So the framer removed the wire out of it's upstairs, and what I have to do is get up there and drill a hole through the top of the rafter that's adjoined to the house there and stick that wire through so that when my electrician returns, he can get that electric supply out over top of that beam and somehow down into the beam where we're going to hang that fan and light kit. So it's not super complicated. It's just a little bit of drilling and poking of a wire through that hole, and then hoping that the electrician can use what I've done. Okay, I'm on the second floor, and we have a chase right here that has the stove pipe coming up through the chimney, and that goes up through the ceiling. And it's also the location where the electrician had the wire. And the wire is down here on the ground right now. It's a blue wire. This wire was originally sticking out that hole in the wall. But what we need to do is we need to come up here where this beam comes into the house, and we need to drill a hole right through there near the top so we can fish that wire through there and get it above that beam, so that there's a little space through the rafters there and he can snake it across. So again, not complicated. I think we're going to be able to make this happen. Okay, so this is the location in which I relocated the electrical wire for the fan out on the back. Okay, so now I'm outside on the back porch, and you can see that blue wire. What my plan is for the electrician to pick it up from there, probably put a junction box up there, and be able to run that wire across the top of that beam and then down in somewhere where the fan is going to be needed. So, yeah. Yep. Alrighty, so I am inside now, and insulation came this past Tuesday. Interestingly enough, we have all this silver material on this one wall, and it's the wall between the garage and the kitchen. And nobody who's been on this project knows why, including the code inspector. So it's typically, I guess, used for areas where maybe there's more heat, and maybe they figured with the kitchen being there that they should put that there. But anyhow, it's puzzling to us, but it is what it is. It doesn't hurt anything. As we move forward to the into the kitchen area, just wanted to kind of point out something, and that is that in a previous video I mentioned about our sink being off-centered from our front window, and it's going to be. There's a black mark there. I'll call it out with when I edit this video of where the middle of that sink will be. I don't think it's that bad, so I'm not going to fret about that. Come over to the left here. Where this silver material is ripped back, you'll see some ductwork coming down there, and that's to facilitate the hood that's going to vent all of the any odors from cooking out. And we chose to make sure that we had external venting with an open floor plan when we're cooking. We don't want all of the smells and grease and so forth to stay in our home, so we spent some extra money making sure that we could vent it properly to the outside. That goes all the way through the second floor and out through the gable end above the garage. There'll be a roof vent up there, a 6-inch roof vent. So one of the last things the framer did for us was he put in wood blocking. That is the horizontal blocks between the studs, and what that does is it gives us some wood to be able to screw into for towel bars, and then also toilet paper holders. When we look back in here, we have it going on back here too, by where the commode will be, so that we have an area to be able to screw into. We did that with all the bathrooms, and also we did it in the kitchen for the upper cabinets. Okay, the basement stairs are in, and not only the basement stairs, but also, as you're seeing here, the stairs going up to the second floor. And we had to wait on those. They were a potential schedule wrecker, but we were able to work around it. And so these set of stairs that go up to the second floor are protected. The reason that they're protected, and I'll give you a closer shot, is the treads on these stairs are natural hickory. And you can only see it on the ends. I don't want to take the protective coating off, but if you're following us, I don't know how much I've called this out, but we have a theme in this home, and it's hickory. And we have an abundance of hickory in our home, or not in our home, but our forest. And we wanted to bring that inside. So I want to talk a little bit about this. And you're saying, what is that? Well, what it used to be a hickory tree. So it's a solid piece of hickory. And this is the knee wall that's on the second floor. And we had this issue because this knee wall was wobbly. And the normal framing means and methods didn't work with the support beams underneath it. So the only solution we had was to put a post at the end of it and tie that up into the rafters in the ceiling. And as Merv was telling me this, I didn't love it, but I knew it was needed. And I had this idea. And the idea was that I had cut some hickory down, or actually 2.5 years ago when they put in the septic system, they had to take a bunch of the smaller hickory trees down to put that in. And what I did was I cut them all into posts. And I actually, 2 years ago, peeled the bark off of this. And I said to myself, someday I'm going to use some of this hickory for something. I don't know what, but I'm going to use it for something. And sure enough, that something came. And I think it's going to have a beautiful character. It's going to be awesome up here because it's going to just tie the hickory steps in. And the other thing that's going to happen is that this knee wall on the top of it up here in the loft, we are going to run a piece of probably 1x6 hickory along the top to create kind of a rail effect. So that'll also tie into that hickory. We also have hickory floors downstairs in the first floor, and we're going to have hickory upper cabinets. So I'm really happy with that. And so now an explanation of some of the other physical work that I have to do. Well, I've got piles of material around here, different spots, and it needs to be consolidated somewhere. I'm going to put it in the basement. I also have down here at the end of the mudroom in the powder room, I have all of the screens for the windows. That needs to be relocated. All of the floors need to be swept just because I like to keep the job site clean. And for the most part, the contractors did a good job, but we do need to spruce it up a bit. And Then down in the basement is a complete wreck. So yeah, this is the basement, and this is rough and central. Everything that supports the house, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, HVAC, it all comes down into the basement somehow, some point. And you can see it's just hasn't been cleaned up. And I understand why. Actually, the HVAC contractor is still putting ductwork in down here. So we are just going to have to do our best to get this cleaned up so I can bring the extra material down and get this place situated so where it's more manageable. Okay, it is Sunday morning, and we are packing up our campsite and had to come over and just finish up a few details, but we are ready to go with drywall. As you can see, the place is clean. Most materials have been removed. I still have a little bit of a Douglas fir trim here, and just trying to make sure that this place is clean, easy to work in, because there's got to be a lot of material brought in here for the drywall, and yeah, I want to make it easier for them. So hopefully they return the favor and leave the place clean when they're done. I'm hearing that's not normally the case with drywall. They tend to want to leave a mess, not scrape the floors, leave dust everywhere. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling real good. We are turning the corner. We are into a new phase. That new phase is the beginning of finishes. The construction component of this, the framing, all of the infrastructure from the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC, it's all done. Insulation is in. We are ready for drywall. And once drywall is done, then we move on to first coat of painting, which would be the primer coat, and both finish coats on the ceiling. That'll be done right after the drywall is hung. And from there, it's flooring. And so, yeah, there's a lot that's going to go on in the inside of this. And at the same time, outside, we are looking to get some of the site work done soon. The rain this spring has made it very difficult to get some things done because of the muddy conditions, but also because everybody's so backed up right now because of the rain. So, but, we will get there when we get there. And you know that I'm going to push because that's what I do. And in a nice way. I'm not going to push in a nasty way, but I'm going to make sure that we can move when we can move. And that's how we get things done. So part of this little exercise right here is to go along and record everything where the ductwork is behind the walls so that we know for future use. This is the last opportunity I'll have to do that. So that's why you're seeing me just kind of go around and get video footage of the walls. It's really the only way to know what's going to be in here. Okay, so this is going to be a wrap for this video. It's been a fun weekend here. We've enjoyed camping here. I've really enjoyed watching the progress of this home build. And we're going to sign off for now, and we will see you on the next episode of Logs, Bogs, and Meadows. Please come back and please subscribe. Please hit like. Please share. Do all that stuff. Yeah. Talk to you later. Bye.